guys, we are up and running here. Welcome once again to 3X Gaming. I of course am he, and this of course, in case you haven't already noticed, is Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires. I've always been a fan of the Dynasty Warriors games. I've played the games since the first one, really, the PlayStation 1 version. That was actually a ripoff of Soul Edge and Soul Calibur, like one-on-one sword fighting and so on and so forth. And have pretty much been playing the game ever since. I've always actually leaned more towards the Empires version of the games, though. So right now we're going to go into Empire mode, and I've already started this mode here, but just want to show off some things. So a lot of people say that the Warriors games are always so repetitive and there's never anything that changes. Those are all people who usually don't really pay much attention to the Warriors games after it initially releases, because if you actually play them on a regular basis, you see how deep the games are. I actually, like I said, like the Empires versions of the games more than the earlier versions. As it's been the case for a few years, Empire games are usually the last of the Warrior cycle for that version. You usually have the classic version of the game, then you'll have the Extreme Legends version of the game, and then you'll have the Empires version of the game. I usually go with the Empires because, first of all, it usually has the entire roster of characters that appeared in the previous versions of the game. You know how they'll add new characters for Extreme Legends. Then you'll have all of those characters available in Empires. This version of Empires actually has its own new character, Zhu, who is the first actual new character to be released on an Empires game. And then on top of that, there's the more strategic elements of the Empires games, where you actually have to think about things like policies and politics and training your guys and weapons, and even in-game, you know, going after bases and just more strategic style gameplay than the typical running around and slashing up anything that moves that you usually get with the other Warriors games. And the third and most important reason I like the Empires games more than anything else is the Edit Officers feature, where you get to actually create your own officers within the Three Kingdoms to either add to the existing kingdoms of Wei, Wu, Shu, and Jin, or make your own, as it is that I've done here in this particular Empire mode. So let me show you actually how the territory is looking. My territory right now is the dark blue here, the Ming Su Kingdom, and I have 5 provinces. And as you can see, I'm not the only one who has a lot of real estate right now within ancient China. There's this kingdom here, which is right next door to me, which is ruled by Wu Xinxia. That's actually a created character that I had downloaded, or should I say downloaded automatically. I'll talk about that in a second. But she's got 5 territories as well, as does Qian Hua over here, another female. Sisters doing it for themselves over here, you know what I'm saying? She's got 5 as well, and then everybody else is pretty much split between 2 territories. So you got your big guns, and then you got your middle of the road kingdoms. In this particular empire, everybody's pretty much trying to capture the middle section of the map there. Nobody's really making any moves south or north, even though I could, if I wanted to, go after the Wong Kai Kingdom. Still on the fence with that one. So now that you see the territory, let me go into the town here and actually show you some of the characters that I have created for this particular empire, so you have some form of an idea of who the hell it is that I'm talking about here. First of all, this here is Ming Su, who is the ruler of this particular empire mode that I'm running. Got the lion gear going on with a bit of the, I think that's the Norse god bottoms, but yeah, looks pretty sweet. I had him and everybody else in my army wearing the gold, but whatever. I'll wear black. I don't care. Who cares? So the clothier here is where you would buy the other pieces of gear that can be unlocked. You can either get the entire sets or you can buy the individual parts, but I'm not going to go through all that. You've probably seen those all if you've been following other people who've played the Empire's games. If not, I'll go through that in another video probably. But what I want to show you is the rest of the people, characters that I have created so far. Like I said, there's Ming Su, he's the ruler, and then two sons. There is Ming Han, who is the more calm, collected, strategic type, and then there's Ming Fan, who you could probably tell by his size is big, burly, jump into the fight, guns blazing type of guy. You know, he's the kind of guy who would probably go up against Lu Bu one deep and, you know, try to take his head off. That's just how he rolls. Then you got Tai Chin. I kind of made his look a bit derivative of a character from the name of the movie is Three Kingdoms Legend of a Dragon, I believe it is. I don't know the title off the top of my head. There's a movie that came out a couple of years ago, starring Andy Lau and Maggie Q, and also Sammo Hung was in it as well. Based around the Three Kingdoms, it was actually about Zhao Yun, or Zhao Zilong, as he is called over in the motherland over there in China, in some places. And there was one guy, I don't know what his name was, but he was a member of Zhao Zilong's army towards the end of the film. And he had dreadlocks, like Chinese guy with dreadlocks. Looked pretty awesome. So they give you dreadlocks in the game, so I used it and made a character that looks as close to him as possible. That's Tai Chin, pretty much. Then there is Li Li, who, I don't know if you remember a couple of minutes ago, you saw her standing next to Ming Su. That's because she's the queen, so to speak. I have wedded her as Ming Su, and she's obviously wearing the old school Diao Chan Dynasty Warriors 6 getup because it's hot, for lack of a better term. Then there's Sung Hua, who is usually my primary character when Edit Officers was first introduced back in Dynasty Warriors 4, I believe it was. Sung Hua here was the guy who I made, and he has always used Guan Ping's moveset. Well, at first it was just called the Great Sword moveset, then they put it onto Guan Ping, so that's the moveset that he uses, pretty much. Speak softly and carry a big sword. That's him. Then there is Shi-Ai, who is the other female, primary female of my kingdom. She uses the new guy Jushu's sword and hook weapon, of which is awesome, I have to say, and very much overused by a lot of people who upload created officers onto the extra mode of this game. A lot of people use that weapon. Too many. I mean, the weapon is awesome, I'll admit, but there are so many other weapons that you could be using for characters. Then we have Monohoshi Zhao, who is not Chinese, obviously from the namesake. He is actually a spin-off of a character that I made on Soul Calibur. One of the created characters that I had made was a samurai using Mitsurugi's moveset, and this is the Dynasty Warriors version of him. He uses Zhou Yun's moveset, which is the sword and sheath combination, pretty much katana blade. And then there's everybody else, who are all downloaded characters that I've just added onto my kingdom because I need manpower, pretty much. If you've made any of these guys, then well done. They're good. They're pretty good. They get the job done. So now that we have all that and the introductions are done, I've gone 11 full minutes in this video and haven't even gotten into gameplay. But we're going to change that right now. So now we'll go back into my lovely little golden throne room here and proceed to picking a fight. Where can I go? I can start off against Wu Shenxia, which actually wouldn't be too bad of an idea considering the fact that you have this area right here that is almost completely tore up. If I'm not mistaken, I did a skirmish here before to weaken their numbers, and as you can see, their numbers are very, very weak. Aside from one, they're down to like 200, 400 troops, and the red on the name indicates the fact that those particular officers are injured, which basically means that they're more likely to be captured if I defeat them. And if I had officer deaths turned on, they could actually die in battle. Probably not if I'm fighting them, but usually if you have a character in your kingdom who has red with officer deaths on, you don't want to run them because they might die. And when they die, you can't use them anymore within that entire empire mode. But I don't have officers deaths turned on here, so we don't have to worry about that. This is probably going to be quick on account of A, it's on easy mode, B, they're really messed up, and C, I used 700 bonus points to unlock all of the weapons, so everybody who I'm using right now uses the level 6 top of the line kill you in only a few hits weapons. You'll see what I'm talking about in a few seconds, in case it is that you have not, for those of you who are new to empires and want to see what it's all about. So we're gonna go with our main forces here. Got my weapons equipped. Items, animal, red hair, of course. If you're using a horse, you better be using red hair. Otherwise, what are you thinking? So we'll confirm that and go into battle here. And as you can see, the blue is me, my forces. The red is Wu Shenxia's forces. They are woefully outnumbered here. And that's going to mean that this fight is not going to take very long at all. So what you see here are the stratagems. Like I said, this is part of the reason why I like the Empires mode, because you can use these within battle to add certain elements to the battle, like blocking off areas, calling in extra troops, replenishing energy, changing bases, all types of different stuff, which is basically conducive to your fame rating. And that is the little icons that you see on the left hand side. Heart is kind, flag is orderly, the little bag, money bag, is affluent. The one that you don't see is the sword, which is brave. And then there's a little evil mask type thing, which is evil. Self-explanatory. Based on your actions in battle, you upgrade the stratagems that you can use in battle. Pretty deep when you go into it more in detail, but I think I've talked a little bit too much in this particular video about the front end. Let's just get right into the gameplay here. That's right. This is going to be a one-sided fight, if ever there was one. So the first thing I usually do is transform a base into a treasure base. And what that does basically is that so long as that base is still standing, at the end of the mission when you've completed it, you gain 10 pieces of gold. And gold, like anything else in the world, is what it's all about. It's all about the Benjamins. And you can see exactly what I was talking about these level 6 weapons reducing people into fine powder in a very, very short amount of time. Look at I'm going through these enemy ranks here like a warm knife through butter. Of course, keep in mind that I do have it on easy here, so yeah. That does have something to do with it. And here we got more company. Soon's he's gone. Get in here and take a seat. This is Zhang Fei's weapon also, by the way. The double-sided pipe. You can imagine that Zhang Fei is one of the OP characters. Warriors games have always been known for that. Zhang Fei, Guan Yu, Lu Bu, of course. So we're moving right along here. Systematically wiping out everything that stands in my way. Hitting him with the lethal right hook. I love that. And it looks like my boy Ning Fan went ahead too far and got himself outnumbered. That unfortunately happens a lot. So let's call on Red here. Go save my son's butt. That is, if they let me. I need to find some solid ground. Again, maybe not. Come on, let me up. What a time to get waterlogged. Don't worry, Red Hair. We'll find some dry land soon. Swimming's good exercise anyway. Meanwhile, my army's pretty much doing all the work for me here. I am not complaining. And get up here. Yes, we can. Looky here. For the base. And he's still getting his ass kicked. You are killing me, main Khan. But we have managed to take all of the bases. Except for the main one. Okay. Where's that bridge? I know I saw it somewhere. Y'all got to get out of there. Here, I'll do you a favor, son. Everybody regains health. That'll keep you upright a little bit longer. Oh, look at that. You have company. Hey, come here. Okay, y'all get him another one. Have a moonshot. Yes, that move is extremely effective. I like to call it crowd control. It is what it is. Okay, that freaking bridge was around here somewhere. You know what? Screw it. We're moving onward. Finish this. Oh, who's in? Hey there, little guy. Damn it, you made me miss. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go. Thought you ran. I'm tired of your base fire. There you go. Lucian is out of the picture. And soon Sharon Jang is next. That didn't take very long at all. Good. Okay. Let's head uptown. Sorry, hon, I would let you on the horse, but, you know, I gotta take care of some business. Yeah, baby. Fall prey to my phenomenal volcanic powers. That's right, heat pump mutants. And there goes the 10 extra pieces of gold from setting up the treasure base. Victory is mine. Yes. And now the spoils. Pretty much bumping up the orderly rating I got there. Not a whole lot of casualties suffered, considering the fact that it was a route from the offset. There probably wasn't going to be too many losses on my end. Technically, there weren't too many losses on their end, but they didn't have too many to lose. So now, what to do with Luzune? Ah, well, would you look at that? He actually accepted. Most of the time when you recruit an officer that you've defeated, they refuse. And then after that, you have the choice of either releasing them, or if you have officers you have turned on, you can execute them. Releasing increases your kind rating, and executing increases your evil rating, in addition to eliminating them from the rest of the Empire mode. But like I said, I had that turned off, so that was not an option. So Luzune is in, and sure, why not? We'll add him. So there we see the gold I obtained. For the treasure base is an extra 10, and there's 25 for completing the mission. And then the bonus points there, which is 200. Those are the ones that you use to unlock the extra edit officer parts, and also any extra features within new Empire modes, like unlocking the super weapons, or all the items, all the animals, things like that. Those stack from different Empire modes. So you don't have to actually run one Empire mode. You can actually have 3, 4, as many as you want to. And all of those bonus points that you earn from the games will stack on top of each other in your system data that you can use whenever you start another new Empire mode to unlock all this stuff. And the end result of this particular battle is now that the province of Beihai is under my control, and my foothold of the north has gotten even stronger. Only thing I gotta do now is take care of Wong Kai in the northwest, which I'm probably gonna start doing in the next video. That will do it for this video. Thanks guys for watching, and if you like, let me know, and I'll do some more Dynasty War 7 for you. Actually, I'm probably going to do more Dynasty War 7 Empires anyway. Screw what you think. I love this game. And that's all there is to it. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, until next time, this is 3X, and I am out. See ya!